Maybe for you. Me, I'd like to know a bit about my habits. Back again, I see. Of the...
It's heating up.
I'm overheating here.
Admire my work, my shapely physique. You the old rat.
From serving the goddess, a life of peace, I say. Let the lost die.
Even Merlin leave behind a worthy scrap or two. You discounts on magic.
Baking like a cake.
Fine, I'll check.
By order of the Old Mother, huge discounts on magic baubles. By order of the Old Mother, huge discounts on magic baubles. I've got my eye.
What a deluge.
Don't talk to the schoolboy, brother. It only makes eating them all this later.
Goodness. Is supper already upon us? But how very obvious. Who better than a cow to bring a frightened calf leader? I am loved by them. Naturally. I've developed a particular miserable use the towns. Yes, our but that's so it seems. But even the cleverest magician cannot conceal his tricks forever. The wizard may have fled. You have it in your very possession, you say. Prove it.
To your health. Out of whiskey? Oh, this lot are getting thirstier by the day. Well, not to worry. Oh, no.
True enough. We'll just tell
I've never been one for wild rides, whelp. One of my boys, in love.
I've got my eye on you.
I'm drenched.
By order of the Old Mother, you...
Feeling hot under the collar.
Matilda doesn't tell you a thing, does she? We're waiting to fight the final battle. The time is nearly nigh.
I'd prefer to drown my sorrow.
What can I do you for? Well, gents, the goddess must be smiling upon you.
You there, boy. Can it be true?
I haven't got hold
You
of my
claim
pocket,
to
have
love
I?
this
Don's probably
human
lost the
scum?
thing of his own ass.
Love? No, Old Mother. I only have eyes for you. Of course.
Look in every
Do
cranny
not
now.
lie to
Your
your
mother
own,
won't dance here a human's been
or she'll
waiting.
use your
You
esophagus
know
for a
damn well I
leg.
wouldn't touch anything of yours with a 10-hand pole.
Just... I didn't mean
Chance to keep it. I couldn't help it.
So you admit to this
Mother won't believe it
affair.
for a moment.
Yes, Old Mother.
There, we have the truth. Very good. As for this transgression,
It's all Mother.
I trust that in the last several moments, you've realized your terrible error.
Yes, Old Mother. Terrible errors. Never to be repeated.
It's all Mother.
And I suppose I can trust you never to so much as glance at this worm-fleshed fool again?
Yes, Old Mother, of course.
Don's probably lost the bloody thing of his own ass.
Have I?
As I thought. There. Oh Lord, calm yourself. The All-Mother cannot tolerate such blubbering from one of her daughters.
Excuse me. I'm just overcome with kindness. Thank you, Old Mother. Thank you.
Disgusting, traitorous filth.
Dunce probably lost everything with his own arse. Bloody kid. Who could trust a stupid old like you with something like that? I say you're so stupid. Squatting over the latrine.
Oh dear, couldn't stay on his feet a moment longer, could he? There, dear. Oh, carry you through here.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I?
Dunce probably lost the bloody thing up his own arse.
I haven't got a hole in my pocket, have I? It's all mother, I'll say. It's you who's the one.
I'd prefer to drown my sorrows with ale.
We're waiting to fight the final battle. The time is nearly nigh.
Athletic. Guaranteed plenty of gain after one of them.
The cards are shuffled. Now,
I'm overheating here.
Who knew mermaids could harbour such useful
Even the old
I need to dry off.
The grate is set over a long, narrow vent. A corpse may have fit through its bars, but a living body would find it quite unpleasant. The grate is set over a long, narrow vent. A corpse may have fit through its bars, but a living body would find it quite unpleasant.
Well, what's this I've spotted? It never rains, but it pours, eh? I need to dry off.
potent heat.
Oh, I could do with a cold drink.
I've spotted something interesting. Well, what's this I've spotted?
Indicates a spot in the garden deserving your attention. You're reasonably certain he's not pointing out the pumpkins.
What a deluge! then who's next?
Why don't you go yourself then? You already sent Odalin and he's been blown to bits.
It seems that tribesmen walked right into one of the wizard's traps.
Let's prove wiser than him, shall we?
That's enough out of the lawyer. I've a solution that's fair for all. Look,
Who the bloody hell uses a child's game to decide matters of life and death?
ready in 3, 2, 1.
Look out, I see a trap nearby. Look out, I see a trap nearby.
Well, that's one less mind to worry about, so who's next?
What are you staring at, small bones? Talk to Captain if you need.
Step aside, pig face. Matilda seems to believe they're in a hidden cellar somewhere, but we haven't found a lick of a hint. Shame the wizard's pretty little grapevines and beehives will wither without his team of helpers tending them. Perhaps once we find and skin them. And what business is that of yours, pig face? You ain't no son of the All-Mother, or even a mountain rat like the brothers of Jarl. I suppose the All-Mother's tried our fates immaculates of every make and shape, ain't she? I don't pretend to understand. Something the conduits ask for directly, you see? There's a key inside, a key to a source temple within the forest. The very temple. Without the wizard's servants to show us the way in, though, it don't seem like we'll ever get through. Can't say myself what exactly's inside, but the conduit seems ready to turn heaven and ground to get inside. It seems the wizard...
got something you want to say, ape face?
I feel like I've just had a long bath in a cold lake.
The cards are shuffled. Now, plenty of men. By order of the Old Mother, you...
By the goddesses, since I'm parched.
Let's shut your mouth and go get some wine, why don't you?
Now there's an idea with a ring to it. I'll be right back.
I could do with a cold drink.
What a deluge!
How very strange to see that dear fellow. He had a great many friends and acquaintances, from local witches, but he had been somewhat despondent these past few years, ever since return from an extended visit to Luculla Forest. His long face and nervous eyes were new features to his... A cat told you. I don't know much about source hunters, but I never knew them to... If what you say is true, it must be Jinxica to whom you spoke. How wonderful to hear she lived. We called for old Jinxie before going into hiding. But this little stray here was the only one who showed up.
Our friend, how can we help you? I know little more than its name implies, but if a temple of source does indeed rest within that blighted forest... Many is the year since ghoul or beast has ventured out of the defiled sanctuary of those woods. Yet still we of the village dare not enter. As you may know, this town was founded as the last bulwark against the source monstrosities that reside within that terrible place. After the fall of Brachus Rex, Believe me, Source Hunter, the last thing I'd want to do is disparage you. But this message is simply too important to hand over to a recent acquaintance. Not much to see here, I'm afraid, but you're welcome to...
Make yourself at home for the present. We haven't much to offer. He's a good and decent man, our Xandalore. Without him, we'd have been ripped apart and tossed us...
to see you on the shelter plane. A home away from her. It shall be my pleasure. How very, from what I get, the gen perhaps that likely wouldn't it from this week, but if most are not like.
Tell me, O Weaver. Source Hunter. But certainly. What would you like to know? By all means. And what might those be?
You both puzzle and delight me, Sir Ahu. To be man and cat both. Such an interesting life you lead.
You flatter me, my lady, but yes, I quite like to weave between two planes of existence, bound by mind and soul. There is a grandeur to it, if a humble one.
And trust me, dear lady, that grandeur humbles rather quickly when you see him groom himself.
There is magic to this place, isn't there? No matter how forlorn it seems.
There is magic, but it is not so much forlorn as it is dormant. I trust the Source Hunters and their star stones will stir it from its slumber.
I'm confident they will.